This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. NLT version. And there will be strange signs in the sun, moon, and stars. And here on earth the nations will be in turmoil, perplexed by the roaring seas and strange tides. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 25, is that next month, on August the 12th, 2026, there's going to be a total solar eclipse. And total solar eclipse only happen on a new moon, okay? Which confirms that we're now in the new month, okay? Because that's when the new month begins, on a new moon, IUIC. Just want to bring this out. Do total solar eclipses happen on a new moon? Yes. Total solar eclipses only happen during a new moon, okay? Which also means a new month, okay? So IUIC, you saying that the new month begins on a full moon doesn't make any sense, okay? What is a total solar eclipse? Occurs when the moon passes directly between the sun and earth, completely blocking the sun's bright face, right? And so where I'm going with this lesson is that, okay, major events happen on total solar eclipses, okay? And the last time Europe had a total solar eclipse, all right, go through their mainland or be visible on their mainland, okay, was in 1999. That's 27 years ago, okay? And how interesting that the eclipse sunsets on Spain. Now you know why Spain won the FIFA tournament, okay? Because it's all being ritualized, all right? See, the only two parties, for lack of better words, or two groups that look at the stars and heavens, all right, for signs and seasons, all right, are us, the prophets, okay, and the elect of the nation of Israel, right, and the secret societies, you know, the Illuminati, all right. Those are the only ones that look at the heavens for signs and seasons, okay. Now, of course, the Illuminati, the secret societies, they're going to go, okay, and conduct their witchcraft and, you know, maybe a terrorist attack. Maybe there's a pocket nuke goes off and they blame it on Iran, you know, a cyber attack, or the economy, okay, crashes or begins to crash. All right, they're going to, you know, ritualize these total solar eclipses, okay? But let me get the scriptures to prove that these elites, these secret societies, they look at the stars, okay, they look at the moon, the sun for seasons too. And on total solar eclipses, they ritualize it, which I'm going to bring out some historical documentation, all right? Because we here At Great Millstone, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Shai, we have the high IQ. Okay? Pattern recognition. So first let me get this scripture out. Isaiah chapter 47 verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Right, and this is speaking to, all right, the elites, all right, these secret societies, which are made up mainly of these Edomites, these so-called white people, okay? All right? They're into enchantments. That's why they use the news media to broadcast, all right? For example, that's, for example, with this war, if you watch Fox News, they're making it seem that America is winning the war and they got Iran, okay, running to the hills, which is totally fucking lies, all right? Because anybody with a thinking brain can see that Iran is dominating this war because they still have the Strait of Hormuz closed, and now they're taking out soldiers in Jordan, okay? So that means that America did not, all right, obliterate their ballistic missile systems that Donald Trump and his Goomba Squad administration have claimed to say, all right? But again, with these news media, like Fox News, that's them casting spells. That's these enchantments. And the bulk of the people walking here in America, they're captivated by it, all right? Because they're zombies. They're idiots. 13. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, monthly, okay, which goes into new moon, stand up and save thee from these things that shall come up upon thee. NLT version. All the advice you receive has made you tired. Where are all your astrologers, those stargazers who make predictions each month? Let them stand up and save you from what the future holds, right? Because at the end of the day, whatever they do, it still leads into their demise, all right? Their destruction, okay? There's rumors that Donald Trump may use a small, limited nuclear bomb on Iran, which that's going to open Pandora's box, because that's going to motivate all the nations to use nukes and build nukes, all right? But the point is that, all right, they look to these total solar eclipses, and they work the left-hand side, okay? And they ritualize it, all right? But at the end of the day, it's all going to fail, because what they don't understand is that the Lord is using them to fulfill prophecy. That's why there's no such thing as free will. In fact, let me get that real quickly. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. NLT version. The king's heart is like a stream of water directed by the Lord. Right. Okay. That's why the scriptures say in Job 12 and 16. Right. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. Right. He controls. All right. These secret society, okay, individuals. All right. He's got them deceived. Okay. Because the Lord uses the spiritual demon Satan, all right, to beguile these Edomites, all right, which are the physical counterpart of Satan, okay, and deceive them, all right. That's why, and you continue going on in verse 17, he leadeth counselors away spoiled and maketh judge fools. He leads counselors away stripped of good judgment. Wise judges become fools, right? And look at the Trump administration. Okay, they're literally, okay, fools. Okay, they're middle management. Okay, they're just taking orders from the secret societies. The Illuminati, as you will, with that broad name. But there within the Illuminati is multiple secret societies. Like the major ones are the JJs, the 1940 small hats, They have several secret societies among them. I forgot the name. And then you have the Jesuits on the priesthood. They're the real one. And with the research that I've done, the Jesuits are just as powerful as the international bankers. That's just my opinion. Okay. Anyway, that's you know, the point is, these are the real rulers, and Donald Trump is middle management, and they don't know what they're just going following orders. They don't know what's going on. Like Apostle has been saying, Paula White is supposed to be in the scriptures, right? Supposed to be a spiritual advisor to Donald Trump. All right, she's not telling Donald Trump that he's fulfilling biblical prophecy because they don't know the scriptures. Okay. But anyway, so let's go let's read this one more time. Isaiah 47 verse 13. Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Right. So the point is, Esau, Edom, okay, the secret societies, they do stuff on these total solar eclipses. So the last time the total solar eclipse went over Europe was in 1999. Okay. And again, it's sunset. The sunset eclipse is in Spain. And now you know why Spain won the FIFA tournament. It was all ritualized. So, I asked ChatGPT what events happened around August and after in 1999, because again, this was the total solar eclipse that occurred on the planet Earth, right? Oh, real quickly, because the scripture's got to come out. Who brings the total solar eclipses? All right, who sends the new moon between the sun and the earth? The Lord does it. So we're gonna bring out these particular scriptures. I got to bring this out because the scriptures got to come out. All right, before we go into pattern recognition. All right, of particular events that happen on these total solar eclipses. And again, total solar eclipses only happen on a new moon. IUIC, which begins the new month. Ecclesiasticus, also known as the Book of Sirach, chapter 43, verse 7. From the moon is the sign of feast, a light that increases in her perfection. Right. And this goes way back to Genesis chapter 1. All right. The sun and the moon, mainly the moon, okay, are for signs and seasons. Okay. Letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 60. For sun, moon, and stars, being bright and sent to do their offices, are obedient. Right, to who? The Lord who sent it. Okay. Ecclesiasticus, also known as the Book of Sirach, chapter 43, verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. All right. And again, we as the prophets of Yahweh Bashim El Shai, and of course we call ourselves the hopeful elect, we look at this as a major sign of Yahweh Shai's return. Okay? All right, that's why I brought out in the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 25. Look at the title, The Return of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. So these signs are, okay, necessary to gauge us to understand the times that we're living in. And it also gives us hope, all right? Because we know Yahweh Shai's, okay, going to return. Yahweh Shai, who he calls Jesus, all right? So yeah, once again, Ecclesiasticus, also known as the Book of Sirach, chapter 43, verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. Okay, so this is major. All right, this isn't something to ignore. All right, and again, the last time a total solar lunar eclipse went over Europe, okay, was in 1999. That's 27 years. So you know something major is going to happen next month. All right, Lord willing. And we got to say Lord willing. All right, we always say Lord willing, because at the end of the day, this is the Lord's movie. This is his theater. Okay. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Those are the main ones I wanted to bring out. So let's now go to some pattern recognition. I'll close out. I'll make this quick. So this is what happened in 1999. The rise of Vladimir Putin. Okay, this is when the Lord set up that Putin, okay, would be on the global scene, geopolitical scene, and he hasn't left since. All right, all designed, okay, around the total solar eclipse. Okay, the Chechen wars, right? They began. Okay, this is when Russia and the Chechen soldiers out of I believe they're out of the district of Chechnya. Yeah, that's why they call them Chechen guerrillas. Just show you a map. Chechnya. Chechnya. There we go. All right, Chechnya. So it's part of Russia, but what's so interesting about this district or this particular region, all right, is that they have independence too. All right, yes, they have an agreement with Russia that they will fight for Russia. That's why they're fighting the Ukrainians, and they've also been assisting Russia in Syria. All right, however, they have independence, so they can go fight a war of their choosing, and they have openly stated that if American boots do go to Karg Island or any of these islands, they will help out Iran, all right, to take down the American troops. Okay, so yeah, all right, so that's why the Lord, all right, set it up that in 1999 that war between Russia and Chechnya had to happen so that they can have an agreement for prophecy's sake. Do you see how the Lord works? Okay, if you have spiritual eyes, you can see it. This was a war that was necessary to happen so that the Chechen people fall under Russia, all right, for prophecy's sake. So they go against America, okay, and them JJs. And they're willing to go against them JJs. They don't like them JJs, okay? What's another thing that happened in 1999? Okay? Natural disasters. You had earthquakes in Turkey, Odisha superclone, okay? All right, a plane crash, okay? Oh, look at this. Seattle WTO protests. Massive anti-globalization protests. You think you simple Americans were taking heed to this? And now look, everything's been globalized. Okay? People were actually protesting against this because they saw the future. Okay? But guess what? They could protest all they want, but they couldn't stop prophecy because this is the will of the Lord. So that's what happened in 1999. All right? The next one that occurred, yeah, 2017, but there was also another one. 2007, yep. So in 2007, there was a total lunar eclipse. And this is a spiritual year because this is when the Great Awakening happened on YouTube. All right, this is when the apostles and elders of GMS started posting their videos in 2007. I believe it was in the summer, okay? And it happened around a total solar lunar eclipse, okay? You have bombings. You have bridge collapses, all right? Severe global flooding, okay? You're clearly seeing that now in America. There's a whole bunch of flooding going on right now in America. White House recognition, right, because this is at the height of the Iraq and Afghanistan war. So you have people leaving the Bush administration, just like you see happening now. People are leaving the Trump administration, all right? And then you're having high-ranking officers leaving the military, okay? And then I said, what happened to the economy? In August 2007, the global financial system experienced the first major tremors of what would become the Great Recession. While the full economic collapse did not peak until late 2008, August 2007, is widely recognized by economists as the exact onset of global financial unrest. And Lord willing, this is what happens, man. Okay? Again, major events happen. That's what the lesson is. major events happen on total solar eclipse cycles, or total lunar eclipse cycle. For example, a total lunar eclipse occurred around when? Late February, early March, right? And that's when the Iran war kicked off, when America started this war with Iran, which basically that began World War III. If you want to say when would World War III officially begin, more likely that's what scholars are going to say. I personally believe it started earlier when Russia invaded Ukraine, because that war hasn't stopped. It's just gotten bigger, and it's America's is still continuing supplying weapons and intelligence to Ukraine to kill Russian soldiers. And now you have the mainstream media finally admitting, which we've been to, that Russia and China are providing weapons and intelligence to Iran, which Russia is Gog, Magog, right? The Gog that dwells in the land of Magog, Ezekiel 38, right? And there'll be a guard to Persia, okay, and the rest of the nations. So prophecy is being fulfilled. All right, so now we got to focus on this economy, because again, the economy, all right, is not looking too good in America and globally. All right, and now with these ongoing wars, and with the Strait of Hormuz being closed, and then also the Houthis putting a naval blockade between that strait, that I keep fucking up that name. Houthi naval blockade. Here we go. The Bab el Mandeb Strait. Okay. So this is going to cause major economic problems, and okay, we're going to see, all right, an event, Lord willing, that this is the will of the Lord. But again, this happened in 2007, all right? So again, pattern recognition. Where was it at? All right, 2007. The credit markets froze completely. August 9, 2007, the French banking giant BNP Paribas suspended redemptions on 3 investment funds linked to U.S. subprime mortgages. Now, what this reminds me of, Japan and the yen carry trade, okay? Because Japan needs to raise interest rates, and that's going to mess up the American economy, because all the loans that were borrowed from Japan on the cheap, all right, there's going to be a margin call, okay? The interbank freeze, central banks to stage emergency interventions, housing bubble burst, subprimes default. So this all happened, okay, in August, okay, 2007, all right, on a total solar eclipse, right? August 2007, total solar eclipse, several major global headlines. Yep. So I wanted to show you that. Then we had in 2017, remember the Great American Eclipse, or the Great Babylonian Eclipse? August, again, total solar eclipse. Okay, what major events happened? Hurricane Harvey. You had Charlottesville Unite the Right rally, where violent clashes broke up between Edomite nationalists and counter-protests in Charlottesville, Virginia, August 12th. That's when the total solar eclipse lands on. A state of emergency was declared after a car was driven into a crowd, killing counter-protest Heather Heyer and injuring multiple others. Right, and you're seeing a lot of protests regarding ICE agents killing Northern Kingdom. Young Jake football players ended up dead on an island. Okay, where they're still investigating how he died. They're doing an independent investigation. So yeah, global conflicts, terrorist attacks in Europe, Barcelona, Spain. Hey. This all happens around what? A total solar lunar eclipse. That's all I'm saying, man. All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, he's showing me, okay, a pattern recognition, okay, and I'm just bringing it out for the elect, just to let us know that, hey, things are moving, okay? And for the rest of the world, that you're not in control, all right? Things happen because, all right, first of all, it's the Lord that sets it up, all right? And he uses these Edomites on the left-hand side to make it happen so that prophecy can be fulfilled. Because at the end of the day, prophecy has to be fulfilled, prophecy has to be fulfilled, prophecy has to be fulfilled, okay? So, yeah, I think we hit the point. I'll bring this out because this is why we praise Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Psalm 148 verse 3. Praise ye him, sun and moon. Praise him, all ye stars of light. 4. Praise him, ye heavens of heavens, and ye waters be above the heavens. Okay? Right, which goes to show you there's water above the heavens, which they call the firmament. All right? 5. Let them praise the name of the Lord Yahweh. This is why we praise Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, because, all right, it's his doing. All right, he's setting this all up. He gets the glory. He gets the fame. That's why we can say so confidently, you Illuminati F-boys, you're just puppets in the Lord's movie. You are patsies in the Lord's movie. And he's using you to make sure prophecy fulfill, and then he's going to discard you, okay? And get rid of you, all right? A lot of you will not make it. Only the few will go into slavery. Facts. A lot of y'all, you're going to be destroyed on this side. Only the top, all right, are going to go into slavery. Like certain international bankers, and of course, I believe certain hierarchy of the Jesuit order, okay? The Jesuit order plays a major part in why things happen on the globe, okay? And that's why you notice there's not much talk about Jesuit order. There's always talk about Rothschild bankers, international bankers, right? But you rarely hear about the Jesuit order, except for here at Great Millstone, because we bring that out, okay? And the Jesuit order played a major hand in trying to kill King James, all right? The Jesuit order is the army of the papacy, of the Roman Catholic Church, all right? And they're very sneaky bastards, okay? Psalm 148 verse 5. So anyway, the point is that, not to go on a tangent, all right, the Lord is controlling even them Muppets too. That's the point. Let them praise the name of the Lord Yahweh, for he commanded and they were created. You see that? So the Lord created the sun, the moon, the stars, all right, for what? For his purpose, all right? And they always obey his command. 6. They have also established them, he hath also established them forever and ever. He hath made a decree which shall not pass. Right. And that's how we know the Israelites are here today, because these stars, moons, and sun will never, disappear. They've been established, forever. That's why, let me get this this scripture. If the moon and sun were to this is it right here. Right here. Jeremiah chapter 31 verse 35. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. Right. Okay. So it's the Lord that creates this and tells the sun, the moon, all right, the waves that roar what to do. Okay? That's why he's worthy to be praised. That's why his name is worthy to be praised. 36. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Right? Which proves the nation Israel still here today, because this will never happen. Because NLT version, I am likely to reject my people Israel as I am to abolish the laws of nature, which the Lord said they established forever. So that proves that the nation of Israel is still here today. The 12 tribes are still here today. So yeah, lessons within lessons. So Lord willing, this is edifying. Again, a total recap. And this was longer than I anticipated, but it is what it is. Recap. Total solar eclipse falls on August the 12th, 2026. You can't have a total solar eclipse, unless you have a new moon. Without having the new moon, that's what I meant to say. You must have a new moon in order to have a total solar eclipse. All right, and the new moon falls on August 12th. Okay, all right, and so again, major events happen on total solar eclipse. So prepare yourself and let's see what the Lord does. Because at the end of the day, it's the Lord's will. All right, Lord willing, it's an economic collapse. But hey, maybe it's a cyber attack. Maybe it's a pocket nuke goes off. All right. Maybe rioting, big riots happen. Over all these ICE agents killing Jake, and then the missing or excuse me, dying Jake dying by the hands of these Edomites. These spoiled Edomite rich kids. We'll see. We'll see what the Lord wants to set up. He can always throw in an earthquake. I still believe an earthquake's coming to California any day now. Okay, major earthquake. So it's of the Lord. All right, and then of course look at Europe, because why is this total solar eclipse landing on Spain of all places? Maybe there will be a terrorist attack in Europe. Maybe in Spain. Again, this is the Lord's will. All right, and of course He's going to use these Illuminati weirdos and freaks to fulfill His will, because the deceivers and the deceived, all right, the deceiver and the deceived are His. Okay, it's facts. So Lord willing, us edify. I want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep the door, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostle elders. We're almost out of here. To the fuses that are watching, keep studying. When you pray, Jag cover. Stay locked in. Hey. And as the apostle elders always say, on to the next one. Shalom.